Hi, this is Mukul Yudhvir Singh for Economic Times Manufacturing, and joining us today is a legend who needs no introduction. Sitting here with me is Mr. Farrokh N Cooper, who's Chairman and Managing Director, Cooper Corporation. Farrokh sir,
Thank you.
it's a privilege to have you here on the show, and thank you for letting us do it.
Thank you for coming.
My
Tell-
first question, sir,
Tell me.
what is the reason behind the success of Cooper Corporation? Why is Cooper Corporation today?
Oh, I would say it's in the stars a bit. Uh, Basically, I was born from the right parents, I had the right education, and a lot of goodwill left behind by my ancestor. And we started business in a small way, and we built up a good team of people. We had good contacts, and we said, let's try. So we started in a foundry, and in my life, things just happen unexpectedly. I mean, I'll go into a meeting, and unexpectedly something will come my way. So we started in a small way. Then we said, let's go in for exports. We went into exports, succeeded. Then we were with various small companies making components. Then one fine day, somebody told me, hey, we're run short of crankshafts. Supply me. I said, I'm an agriculture graduate. I don't know anything about it. What do you want? I said, I want money. So they gave me 20 lakhs. Take it. We did crankshafts. My grandfather had made India's diesel engines in 1922. And diesel engines, plows, and things like that. So we were known in the industry. So we kept on going. Satara is a good place. You got a lot of benefits from government for D-zone. Our growth has been highly successful because of the subsidies government has given us throughout the years, without which financially we would not be so strong. And then we said, why not make engines? So we went to Ricardo one day and said, let's make engines. So my banker said, how will you compete with people? They are big players. So we told Ricardo, how will we compete? So they identified products which were better than the competition. And throughout my life, I've noticed people want to change from what is existing. And we said we should be the change. And that's virtually how it is. And you also have to think a bit as to what is the scope. You have to see what others don't see. You have to lead the way, go the way, show the way. And keep your feet on the ground. You must know what you don't know. So I know how to smell money, but I don't know how to account it. So you get good accountants to manage your money.
Thank you for being so modest, sir. What you have told me, you have credited the Indian government, you have credited your partners for the success. But how would you say that, manufacturing, what kind of a role does R&D and manufacturing play in this success? Because if I were to quote today, what leaders say today is manufacturing is a different animal. And you've done it so beautifully, both R&D and manufacturing. How would you say that both these aspects of...
I always believe in seeing people who are got integrity or successful. Learn from them. Follow their footsteps, imbibe from them. And try and go down that way. Also, it's a sixth sense what to do. When we started liners, people would say, how will you compete with Rajkot? We said, let's export. I was educated in England, and all my contacts were still there. And we had an old tie-up with a company called Mehanite. And this gentleman's photo is still there, the red one.
Right.
So I said, I want to do liners. So he said, all right, I'll give you the technology. You come with me, come to Birmingham, and we'll go to a company called Gibson CentriTech. Their photo is that one there. So I went to see him in the morning, and I looked at him and I said, see, I don't know what to do. You have to tell me what I should do, what I should pay you, and how I can earn the money. And you have to prove it out. So he said to me, he says, during the war, I've been in India. I have the highest respect for Indians. And I'm sending my son to your factory tomorrow. So he came, just like that. And then he said, do this, do this, do this, do this. So fine. So on the back of an envelope, he said, this much, how much you'll have to invest. This is how you'll save. This is the return. And this is how we prove it out. Step one, we succeeded. Then we got big contracts. Then step two, we mechanized. Process controls. With that, we went into America and Europe. And there we were a success because they wanted a competition to China. And half of our production goes to export. So from that money, we said, why don't we do engines? Because we do crankshafts, we do aluminum, we do liners, we do heads, we do blocks. So why not engines? So in the old days, when you go down, you'll see the old engines were designed by Ricardo. So we went to Ricardo with some old colleagues of mine who are no longer alive, unfortunately. And they said, are you sure you have that much money? I said, I think so. Because we look very simple to them. And they looked like our children. So we started. Great success. And then we said, look, we're in the rural areas. And our family has a name. We have a brand name. Agriculture is the growth sector. Why don't we look at tractors? So we developed a tractor with Magnus-Steyr. Tractor is successful. And everywhere financially we are not burning cash. So that is the growth. Plus we have a very good team of people. Without the team of people you can't do anything.
Interesting.
We have 3,000 people, all local. And it has evolved.
Right. Thank you for touching upon the importance of partners, right? But a question that comes to my mind, keeping India in focus and the component makers that are here, do you think the component makers of this new age India have started thinking strategically?
Many grow big in the shadows of big companies.
Right.
And if they have their balance, they keep on growing. But then you have to decide, do you want to level off as a component manufacturer or do you want to do something different?
Right.
And that's the difference. That's the difference in vision you have to take. Do you want to take that risk from being a component manufacturer to product manufacturer?
Okay.
Do you want to export? Do you want to sell in-house? Sell in the country?
And what do you think are most of the Indian component makers doing now? You must be talking to a lot of them.
No, not really.
Okay.
But they're all busy in-house because India has very high growth rate. But the people who go abroad are doing well. They're doing well. But you have to have a setup there. We have 6 Americans working for us for the past 25 years. Daily in touch because they're in touch in the field with the customer. We've started exporting engines to them. In America, there's a great demand for engines. Our engines are meeting their emission norms. So that's really in simple terms what we are.
The key points for me here, right? I tried to read between the lines, and the keywords for me here were scale and complexity. Do you think that the Indian ecosystem now, whether it is mobility, defense, or power electronics, do you think that we are in a position where we can build deep supply chains for the globe as well as for our country? Do you think are we in that?
Oh yes, definitely. We're very talented. I mean, Prime Minister once made a statement, no? The hand that moves the mouse rules the world. I mean, how many people are in America, Europe? And technology is available. People are poor by handicap. You give them an opportunity, they grow. And nowhere is the opportunities that you have in India. Europe is slowing down. America is slowing down. They all have their problems of labor, inflation, lack of demand, whereas we don't. We have what, a growth rate is 7%, 8% in the country. India is the place to be. And India is a democracy, unlike China. There's an integrity, people trust the country. And that's it.
There's one more phenomena taking place in the Indian manufacturing industry today. It's also global. The time from drawing board to market is shrinking. And it's shrinking like, I was speaking to somebody yesterday and he was telling me that the time for a new vehicle from drawing board to market is now 2 to 2.5 years, which used to be earlier 6 years or 7 years.
Correct.
Right? Do you think we need an approach do you think we need to rebalance this?
No.
Or do you think we're going in the right direction?
We're going in the right direction. Why not? India's got the highest accident rates in the world. The government has done the right things by having 6 airbags, sensors, what you call ADAS, assisted design. What is it? Assisted?
ADAS.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's available. In fact, foreign countries want to collaborate in India because they're slowing down. They want growth. So it's a marriage of technology and production. So better it is, the faster it is, the better. In the recent conflict, our engines were everywhere. In rocket launchers, satellite station. And all local talent. As you see when you go around the factory. There are no hi-fi people. They're ordinary people.
But then again, sir, one more question that I would want to ask from what you've just told me is this increased speed from drawing board to manufacturing floor. While the drawing board and everyone in between might be ready for that, how do we ready the manufacturing floor so fast for a new product? Because a lot gets changed when a new product comes in. In terms of defense, it might not be the case because criticalities are always taken care of there. But for mass market vehicles, let's say, right? If you were to launch a new car, you drew that on the drawing board today, and you had the timeline of launching it from 2 years from today. How do I ready my manufacturing floor for that?
Supply chain is a constraint some places, but it's growing. People are heavily booked for machine tools. My grandfather was the founder of Indian Machine Tool Manufacturers Association in 1945. So people are evolving, people are growing. I don't see many constraints.
Okay.
Defense, export, you name it, is there. It's just that you have to be able to digest your growth. Be organized and digest your growth.
Would I be correct to assume that in such cases, the one that we're discussing right now, it has become critical to partner and collaborate with your component makers at a very early stage? Let's say just from the R&D itself?
We invest a lot in technology. Sometimes I make a very arrogant statement. I don't know my competition knows me.
Okay.
But that's arrogant. Of course I know my competition. But we've invested many years in advance in technologies which have come into vogue because of the new BS6 norms.
Okay.
Same for our engines. Now our engines are not only diesel, they're gas. So we're not going to be affected because of diesel. That's the story we have. We said, why not make a tractor? So people said, I'm crazy. Because how will you compete? Well, we found a product which is a change. And we have the engine anyway. We have the infrastructure. So it's a synergy. We put in a plant to make an assembly plant. And it's doing well. So
Interesting.
that's it. You must always be confident in what you're doing, and you get there somehow.
What you just mentioned, is on the business side of the view. But how is this electronic mechanism now helping you in terms of your R&D and manufacturing? Has something changed there?
Oh yes, electronics. Electronics is the buzzword. I mean,
Is
your
it just the buzzword, or would you say it's more than a buzzword?
is use it. I mean, you use it. Laptop is useful for everything. I mean, we have our gensets being sold worldwide. We have an apps. We can see which engine is working at what condition, in which country. We can start and stop an engine from here, which is electronics, which is unheard of before. Sometimes, if a CNC machine breaks down, by computer online, they can repair the system here without sending a mechanic. It's a huge advantage, and it needs rectification. And we maintain the machine properly. The head office abroad can set right the product here.
But with electronics becoming the core of almost everything now, how is that adding value to the manufacturing part of the game? Is that
It's a discipline. Wherever you have a discipline, you avoid mistakes.
okay?
It's a discipline, it's the systems. You follow the systems, you're there. You remove a lot of manual error, which is important. I mean, electronics is very, very useful. I mean, why are sensors in the car? Because they go so fast. The sensor requires you to stop the car because your human reflex is not fast enough. Because if you're going 250 kilometers an hour, your brain will not respond fast enough to stop the car. Sensors can detect it well in advance. It just stops. The electronics is useful everywhere.
So you've seen Indian manufacturing transform over decades. Would you throw some light on the key milestones that you think have shaped what India's manufacturing industry is today?
Oh yes. In the old days, you needed a license to do something. I used to pay 400% duty to import a machine. All those days have gone. The doors are open. You got a level playing field. And they encourage you to do things, which is good. It is good.
Anything apart from policies that you mentioned, the policy is now favorable, but anything apart from that that you think have been key milestones in in making India's
You see,
manufacturing?
the growth is in every sector is there. Whether it is telecom, whether it's industry, whether it's automobiles, whether it's textiles, whether it's housing, you name it, the growth is there. Agriculture, because the country consumes what it produces.
With the evolution of the policies and the policy makers, has there been an evolution also in the partnership that OEMs share with their suppliers and vice versa?
I think it's case to case.
Could you throw some light on that? I mean, from your experience, how have these relationships changed? And
But OEMs use India as a base for their exports. So that's again an exposure for employment, production. OEMs use suppliers as a base for low cost, good quality.
has there been any moment in your career, in your professional innings so far, where you thought that India's manufacturing prowess would one day be on the globe, or if you thought otherwise?
It's always there. Never had any doubt. You have to have leadership in you. I mean, you can't just depend on facilities. You have to know what to do. I mean, you just can't set up something and meander around the place. If you set your compass, you make a plan, execute, review, plan, be sensible, decide what growth rate you want. You can't grow 100% every year. Then you're an upstart. You will fall down.
Right.
If you decide the growth path, can you digest it, review it, grow? That's the way.
Have there been any lessons that the Indian manufacturing industry has had to learn the hard way?
Oh, quality, cutting corners, speculation. You can't do that. You can't dictate to anybody. You have to give and take. You have to accept the fact that you're going to be comfortable doing what you're doing. You cannot corner anybody. You cannot sort of dictate. Those who try those sort of games are nowhere.
Anything in terms of supply chain that we had to learn the hard way?
Not really. Not. I mean, supply chain constraints will be there when you want to grow from A to B. It's not unsurmountable.
But do you think now a lot of OEMs as well as design houses, have you also now, like a lot of OEMs now are prioritizing bringing their supply chains into India, wanting to source
No.
more for India? Is that a priority for you?
No.
And why not?
I mean, we're not only a manufacturer, a component manufacturer, we're an engine manufacturer, we're a tractor manufacturer. So we've gone step 1, step 2, step 3.
But the focus...
One of the politicians who was the chief guest for our inauguration, he bought the first tractor without my asking.
Wow.
And I was scared it would break down. It hasn't broken down. He's raving about it. So, never venture, never gain. See, Royal Enfield was a bankrupt company.
Yeah.
What happened to it today?
I think it's
He bought it in installments, 70 lakhs. And now where is it? That is entrepreneurship.
But do you think that he, Mr. Lal, trying to build a local supply chain is one of the topmost reasons he has achieved what he has achieved today?
We supply Royal Enfield.
So that's, I mean, he has always been vocal about building a local supply chain.
He's done it, I think.
Yes. So do you think that is one of the reasons that Royal
You
Enfield
see, it's an amalgam of collaboration and good designs from Europe. These designs are ethnic. I mean, it's the British design. So he's got that amalgam with local production.
Right.
And a nostalgia from what was the old product.
Right.
I mean, Java has come back. Java is a success. Which other products have come back? Well, they're good. Chetak is still going. So people have a combination of products that they can have. Maruti is still there. Kia came in when there was COVID, which is a success. Isn't it? MG has come in. So they're all there. Many computer companies have come in. They're successful. Building line, growth line, infrastructure. It's a huge demand. Infrastructure requires an enormous amount of equipment. It's all a multiplying effect. I mean, without JCBs, without tractors, without anything what that goes into building roads, they can't build the road. No, without the technology of latest road building technology, you can't do it. So, India is the place.
Speaking of technologies and equipment, a lot of new technologies are now entering the manufacturing floors. For example, automation is there. Then Industry 4.0, Industry 5.0, Internet of Things, as we call it. What's your view on these technologies, and how, according to you, are these shaping the manufacturing of today?
You see, it's all evolution. I mean, it's all necessary. So there's nothing wrong in it. I mean, in foreign countries, they have enormous funds for research, which we may lack. But the product, if it's available, why not? I mean, you go to a medical line. Who would have thought that we have covered 1 crore people with vaccines in record time? We had the in-house technology. You go to any medical line, any line you go to, except aviation. You see the growth. I mean, how many crore people were covered by the vaccines?
I mean, over crores.
How many?
I mean, I think at least 20-30 crore people.
20-30 crore people, lives were saved because of the vaccine, made in India. We had the technology.
Are you pointing towards India needing to develop its own automation technologies rather than importing it from?
Yeah. I mean, look at pharma, look at anywhere, pharma, plastic, healthcare. You look in any direction, the growth is the same. Tourism. It's a good place to be.
Do you think, or would you say that India has that capability? Because most of the, a lot of, not most, a lot of automation players who are offering automation for manufacturing floors, warehouses, they're mostly dependent on technology from outside India.
I don't see technology as a hamper for growth. I mean, people visit us, we don't visit people. Customers come to us, we don't go to customer. Suppliers come to us, we don't go to them. So, I mean, the world goes round. As long as you're honest, straightforward, and know how to deal, yours is the future. I mean, no.
Have you?
Straight, simple, clear.
Speaking of straight, simple, clear, Cooper sir, have you had chance to play with artificial intelligence and machine learning for your manufacturing floors?
Not yet, but I'm doing it in agriculture.
Okay.
Big difference.
And
It's a synthesis.
Huh.
There's nothing artificial. They bring it to one cockpit. Whether it's the soil, whether it's the irrigation, whether it's the plant, whether it's the weather forecast, and link it to a mobile.
Right.
There's nothing new they've created. They put everything in one basket. It's the connectivity. There's nothing artificial about it.
But have you seen good results
yes.
in agriculture with?
Oh yes, 100%.
And do you think that the same technology?
The yield will double.
Okay.
The farmer's income will double. The standard of living will increase.
But do you
Say
think?
if
But do you think that these? I'm sorry to cut you here, but do you think the same technologies, AI and ML, can help you achieve the same results, which is better yields, better quality on the manufacturing floor?
why
as well?
not? It's just a putting together all the various stakeholders, factors into one circle, and monitoring them.
Okay.
That is what they call artificial, which I don't say is artificial. It's a synthesis, which is what I see.
But usually, once you do this, once you implement AI, ML, and these technologies on your manufacturing floor, the next step after you've been able to collect a lot of data, the next step is automating the manufacturing floor, wherein you need less people.
100 plus robots.
Huh.
You have a process control. But the robots don't reduce employment; they increase employment.
Yes.
It's all the thinking. I mean, in the old days before computers came to banks, the unions of banks used to complain bitterly, "Nahi, mansa nahi karaycha." But now, which bank works without a computer? It's like that. There's always a resistance to everything. I mean, when windmills came to India, there's a wind farm here with 1,200 windmills in Satara.
We saw that.
Yeah. Well, it's here near Sajjangarh. And somebody wanted to make a nuisance of themselves. They said, after the windmills have come, the wind turbine, the blades have blown away the rain clouds.
Okay.
So iska here दुश्मन है, उसका बंद करो, बारिश पड़ेगा. So the government made a study. And people invested hundreds of crores. So no, we don't believe it is a devil. We are suffering. So they decided we're going to have a big morcha, go up the hill and break them down. So they said, they go up. The politicians went up. When they reached the top, it rained so heavily for 10 days, they had to come down again.
Wow.
And after that, the subject closed. So every innovation will have a resistance.
Right.
Change amidst order amidst change. There's always be somebody. There's always be a Cassandra. That means somebody who will say, "Oh, this will never work." There'll always be an icon. You know what an icon is? Icon is an image maker. And there's always be an iconoclast. An iconoclast is an image breaker, negative. ये नहीं होएगा, ये कैसा होएगा, वो नहीं होएगा. So the negative positive is always going to play.
You think automation is here to stay,
It
given?
has to be.
Huh.
Has to be. Why not? I mean, which farmer owns a bullock cart today? Nobody.
Huh.
I have one,
And
but those days have gone.
what are the prime reasons you think automation?
Convenience to the user,
Huh.
economics, convenience, and benefits. Benefits. Increases, improve standard of living. I mean, if you see in the FMCG groups, fast-moving consumable groups, during Diwali vacation, we distribute not only bonus, but we distribute a number of other things. One of the things we did, which got us a lot of appreciation, was we gave a lot of clothes washing machines to people. The response was electric. They said, our wives are so happy with the washing machines now. Because it's reduced the work of their daily life. Put it in the washing machine, which was not the case before. I mean, a town like Satara, washing machines are sold regularly. Unheard of 15 years ago. You'd have the dhobi. So what's wrong in that?
So speaking of these machines, sir, refrigerators, washing machines, and then of course what we do here at Cooper, what we do here at Cooper Corporation. How was it the first time when you saw an amalgamation of mechanical engineering and electronics engineering?
Oh, many years ago.
And how was it? How was that? How was that moment for the industry and for you?
There was some resistance. But we found it more comfortable, and the worker found it more comfortable. When he saw that he's reduced his effort and he's reduced his energy and fatigue, he automatically likes it. You can't have zero manpower, but the manpower you have feels more satisfied in his work. So why not?
A few last questions, sir.
Tell me anything you want.
What do you do, when you're not thinking about Cooper Corporation or here at
Oh, a
Cooper?
lot.
What do you do in that time?
I do my farming, I read, I listen to music, I meet people, I exercise, I walk. Every day before coming to work, I do 1 hour exercise, which includes the treadmill. Eat properly, don't drink, have fun, and be with your family.
I'm sure you're working with a...
Both of us are married for the first time 48 years ago.
Wow. So,
Spend time with the family. What more do you want?
this is
Huh?
this is the...
What do you
life.
want? What do you want? Why do you want to go to Europe and see the Goras over there? Enjoy your own countrymen. And now I believe people go to foreign countries for big gala events. Those areas are saying, don't come. Which area somebody they wanted to go? And the villagers said, no, we don't want these tourists. You go, please. So, that's life. I mean, what more? Listen to music, read. It's a lot you can learn when you reflect. No? Lead a balanced life, happy balanced life. Yeah? And don't think money is the only thing that will get you pleasure. I mean, man is a social animal. I mean, who created music? Music, literature, poetry, art, painting. These are all arts, no? They all have a meaning. So look at them. Yeah. Look at nature. I mean, you're living with nature. You should live with nature. So that's the pleasure of life. That's how we live. I live. Nothing wrong in that.
Speaking of family, life, and happiness, I'm pretty sure that you're working with a lot of this generation engineers, right? Who are trying to enter, who have entered the manufacturing or the supply chain or the R&D ecosystem. How do you find them today and versus?
Well, they're energetic. But even when we were young, we thought we knew everything. And as you grow older, you come to know what you don't know. When you're young, you have all the energy. You know it all. You don't need to be told. Then after a little bit of experience, you realize you don't know it all. You can't change that. That's part of life.
So, the ones that you work today, do you see the same mistake?
Actually, we were the same.
Huh.
We know what we're doing. Don't tell us what we're doing. So okay, you do it. You learn by your mistakes. If you learn how to drive a cycle once or twice, you'll fall off. Then you won't fall off again. So if you decide you're going to do something, and you know it, and you don't want to listen, they will learn, okay, you do it. When they make a mistake, they'll come back and say, no, we made a mistake. I mean, that's human life. I mean, it's a part of growth, isn't it?
But in today's modern world,
In
today's world, the modern world, do you think there is that gap or there is time available for the young guns, the young engineers to make mistakes? Especially with the way the world is advancing, the project
pace of life
cycles
has drastically increased.
Yeah.
The pressure of work has drastically increased. But evolution is evolution. I mean, from childhood to teenagers to marriage to everything. I mean, that's
So they can still afford to make mistakes. There's room for them to make mistakes.
It's a normal process, isn't it? Much is chukla. Okay, chukla. It's your bad luck. Now you improve. We were the same. We were no angels.
Perfect. Perfect.
We would always say, we know best, you don't tell us. So sometimes we knew best, sometimes we didn't. Where you made a mistake, you pay the price for it. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, you're right, sir. Absolutely right. One last question, sir.
Tell me.
What's your message to these young engineers trying to enter the manufacturing and R&D ecosystem in India?
Be focused and go step by step. And be with the people. There's no shortcut to these things. That's the message.
Be focused, be with the people. Could you throw some light on this?
Yeah, be focused means you can't do everything. You have to decide what is your end goal and make it. Don't do something because somebody else is doing something. Do something where you're comfortable doing it. Do something where you find there's a demand for what you're doing. Don't worry about what the other world is doing. It doesn't worry you. You're not going to benefit from them. Just because somebody else has done something, you don't want to catch up with him. You do something on your own. And let that person do what he wants to do. And there's a place for everybody in the jungle. Where there's a monkey or an elephant or a donkey or anything. An earthworm. So you live in the ecosystem. So trying to copy people, trying to catch up with people, that's a lot of waste of time. Trying to show your wealth is vulgar. You know, why do you want to tell people how much you have? You should tell people how much you care. No? You should create bonding, friendships, happiness. That's what life is about. And at the same time, work hard.
And what would be the one message that you would want to pass down to the manufacturing ecosystem? The one mistake that they should never make and one investment they should always make?
Don't over-invest, but keep progressively innovating. I mean, make your own products obsolete. Change amidst order amidst change. And keep evolving. And don't think you know everything. You don't.
So collaboration or competition, what would you choose?
Anything. And what you're doing. You can do it without collaboration or competition. You decide your path and make it.
Anything else that you would like to share before we sign off?
Oh, thanks for coming.
So that was Mr. Farrokh N Cooper from Cooper Corporation, and this is Mukul Yudhvir Singh signing off for Economic Times Manufacturing.
Keep coming. Thank you very much.